Good day everyone and to our panelists. I am Jared A.
And this is
and
our
our
final research study.
entitled The Teacher Competence and Online Student Engagement in the New Educational Landscape. Rationale. A large proportion of students are disengaged to go to school right now because of the pandemic. After several months of remote learning, some school officials have reported that many students have become more passive, have less sense of social belonging, and have felt disengaged from their learning. One of the biggest challenges of distance learning during the COVID-19 pandemic crisis is to keep the learners become engaged. Teaching competence has a strong impact on the online students' engagement in the educational landscape, in which the students' engagement described as the tendency to be behaviorally, emotionally, and cognitively that involved in teaching competence. Further, we define student engagement as a constructivist approach to teaching and learning that less sage on the stage and more learning by doing. Our research objectives: first, to determine the level of teacher competence in terms of evaluation of teaching performance, online collaboration, online social interaction, and online teaching. Second, to determine the level of online student engagement in the new educational landscape in terms of emotional engagement, cognitive engagement, and behavioral engagement. The third one is to find out the significant relationship between teacher competence and online student engagement in the new educational landscape. And lastly, to determine which domain of teacher competence best influence online student engagement in the new educational landscape. For theoretical framework, the theory provides the importance of student engagement prior to the school entry on the online setting that develops their skills, attitudes, and behaviors. Studies that utilize new insights from personality psychology to explain the significance of diverse patterns of instructors' personality traits in educational endeavors in a more complete manner, according to Diraad and Schoenberg in 1998, fall into a distinct field of study. The primary learning theories, particularly cognitive theory and social constructivism, began to converge in the latter half of the 20th century. Lavey in 1991 and Wenger in 1998, for example, advocated for community of practice and situated learning. Despite the difficulties between online and face-to-face students, a number of characteristics have been identified that encourage students' engagement in online settings. Many of these issues are addressed in Garrison, Anderson, and Archer's in 1999 Community of Inquiry model, which includes social, cognitive, and teaching lessons. Our conceptual framework. Presented in the figure 1 is the conceptual framework showing the variables of the study. The first variable is the teacher competence, with the following indicators: evaluation of teaching performance, online collaboration, online social interaction, and online teaching. On the other hand, the second variable is the online engagement, with the three indicators: the emotional engagement, cognitive engagement, and behavioral engagement. Method. Our research design. From the study, teachers' skills have an impact on their values, actions, communication, goals, and practices in the classroom, as well as on professional development and curricular research. Furthermore, the effective aspect is also influenced by the belief formed from the online student engagement, which the level of the student engagement is a good measure of the likelihood of a successful learning experience. Population ensemble. The study's respondents were second-year and fourth-year education college students, which is the BA Ed and the BS Ed day and evening class in an institution in Davao City during the school year 2021 to 2022. The respondents range in age from 18 to 35 years old. Furthermore, 90% of respondents are in a modular mode of learning, while the remaining 10% are in the both modular and online models of learning. The research instrument. The first instrument was used to measure the teacher competence. These comprise 18 items that measure 4 dimensions, namely evaluation of teaching performance with 5 items, online collaboration with 4 items, online social interaction with 4 items, and online teaching with 5 items. The respondents were asked to rate each item along a 5-point scale ranging from 5, strongly agree, to 1, the strongly disagree. Our wing statistical tools were used in the analysis of data. The mean was used to determine the level of teacher competence and online student engagement of the respondents. The standard deviation This was used to provide researchers an indication of how far the individual responses to a question vary or deviate from the mean. The Pearson R. This was utilized to ascertain the significant relationship between teacher competence and online student engagement. And the regression. This was used to determine which domain of teacher competence best predicts on online student engagement. Result on discussion in Table 1. Presented in the Table 1 is the level of teacher competence with an overall mean score of 4.13 and a descriptive level of high, which means that these teacher competence are oftentimes manifested by the respondents. These results were obtained from the combined mean scores of the four domains, namely evaluation of teacher competence with 4.8 or very high, which means always manifested, online social interaction with 4.07 or high, online collaboration with 4.06 or high, and online teaching with 4 or high. This means that evaluation of teacher performance, online social interaction, online collaboration, and online teaching were oftentimes manifested by the respondents. Result on discussion in Table 2. In Table 2 is the level of online student engagement in the new educational landscape with an overall mean score of 4 and has a descriptive interpretation of high. This means that the items in the online student engagement are oftentimes practiced by the respondents. The overall mean score was the result considered from the calculated mean scores of all indicators, namely the behavioral engagement, which obtained the mean score of 4.13 or high, emotional engagement, which has a mean of 4.05 or high, and cognitive engagement, which obtained the mean score of 3.94 or high. The result is interpreted that the cognitive engagement of the respondents was oftentimes practiced. The result and discussion in Table 3. In Table, significance of the relationship between teacher competence and online student engagement. Teacher competence with the following domains have a computed overall R value of 0.585 with a p-value of 0.000, which is less than 0.05, is statistically significant considering the domains emotional engagement, cognitive engagement, and behavioral engagement. Based on the primary Pearson R test conducted among the indicators of each variable, the overall correlation was determined. This means that the teacher competence has a strong relationship to online student engagement. The result and discussion in Table 4. Shown in Table 4 is the significance of the influence of teacher competence on online student engagement. The overall p-value is 0.000, which is lower to 0.05 level of significance. This means that the teacher competence significantly influenced online student engagement. Looking at the specific domains of the independent variable, online collaboration has a significant value of 0.25, online teaching has a significant value of 0.125, online social interaction obtains a significant value of 0.174, evaluation of teaching performance obtains a significant value of 0.1188. Conclusion research objectives 1 and 2. The level of teacher competence is found to be at high level. This means that these teacher competencies are oftentimes manifested by the respondents. On the other hand, the online student engagement in the new educational landscape is found to be high, which means that the items in the online student engagement are oftentimes practiced by the respondents. This result was obtained from the gathered mean scores of three indicators, namely the behavioral engagement, emotional engagement, and the cognitive engagement, which obtained the mean score. And the conclusion research objectives in 3 and 4. A low or weak significant relationship between teacher competence and online student engagement in the new educational landscape. This result is based from the obtained p-value, which is lower than the level of significance. And therefore, the evaluation of teacher performance, online social interaction, online collaboration, and online teaching, the domain of teacher competence is significantly influences to the online student engagement in the new educational landscape will also increase. Based on the findings and conclusions above, the several recommendations are made. Administrators may help their faculty and students create a positive learning environment, ensure that teachers engage their students in a variety of activities, and provide extra encouragement to help students grow in confidence. Teachers may use the school's resources to teach each objective or select their own activities to meet the needs of the students. Moreover, teachers are aware of the pedagogy that influences the learning outcomes of their students. As the first significant figures in their children's life, parents will always provide feedback and encouragement about the importance of maintaining a positive online student engagement. They also have the primary responsibility for setting educational goals for their children. Pre-service teachers who will be teaching in the future may think about engaging instructional strategies and activities that promote meaningful learning and positive online student engagement. Our references. This is our team. The BS Edval and third year day class, Rosito S. Magpusaw Jr., Mylene A. Dominguez, and yours truly, Jared A. Vargas. That's all, and thank you.